Hello, BookTube.
Hi, BookTube.
Who is this?
It's Adam.
It's Adam. It's Adam. New character introduced into
the not as cool as Denson's dad.
Me too. That's how I feel. But hey, we're here, and guess what we've got? Bags of books!
Bags. Oh, I should have lifted mine at this time.
That's okay.
Oh, God.
This is the Mega Book Haul Part 3, book called End All Book Hauls. And yeah, we went together. It was amazing. Then we got home, and my dad said, I thought you were going to call me to tell me that we were going to go to the book sale. And
he said exactly that.
He did, and I did call him, but he didn't answer. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Spend more money on books.
Yeah, so we went back. Anyways, got some books.
Got books.
And we're going to run through them. Bang, bang, bang. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll do the very first one. This has been on my Goodreads. I don't know if you people are on Goodreads, but Einstein. Seems good. I've not read anything by Mr. Isaacson before, but seems like just a nice little world to get into because everyone knows it. Everyone knows about Einstein, but what do you know about Einstein?
Hey, that's so real. That's the tagline. I wonder if this is the book. I think I said to you in the story that, did this make Walter Isaacson famous? Pre-Steve Jobs? Pre-Leonardo da Vinci? Who knows?
Who knows? Probably someone.
Yeah, well, that's an
it.
excellent start to begin with.
Where are we going to put this?
I would set him on the left, just anywhere
that's
there.
That's idea.
Okay.
The flow.
I've got... What is this? Yes! I mentioned this in an earlier installment. This is the Maltese Falcon, Dashiell Hammett. Thank you, Michael K. Vaughan, for putting this on my radar. I was really hoping to find this. And this is just another one of those peacock feather beautiful editions on the inside. Pulp Fiction, great movie, great genre of book. Got it here. Bang.
Say what again? That's from Pulp Fiction.
Nice.
A Farewell to Arms. I've had a love-hate relationship with Hemingway for a while, an emphasis on the hate. But I'm really open. I loved Movable Feast. I thought that was brilliant. And then I read Sun Also Rises and just was not in love with it. I know somebody out there is going to hate that.
Yeah, someone will, but some people will love that you hate him.
Yeah, some people say
Steve, if you're watching, I know you'll like that he dislikes Hemingway.
It's just come on, man.
That's pretty
Let's
funny.
get to the plot, and the plot is them just drinking. Anyways,
Boo.
Next one. But I'm excited. Always open-minded to some old classics.
Nice. I got that too, actually. Oh, it's annotated.
Super. But I love that actually. I like annotations in books.
He's crazy.
I'm just a little crazy like that. But no, it's because it's kind of like you have someone else reading along that you don't agree with. But it's
sweet.
Who
has no idea what they're reading.
Yeah, it's are we reading the same thing?
This person looks deliberate.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, they got beautiful handwriting, just star annotations. Anyways,
nice.
Your turn.
I got that book too. I don't know if you saw it on the
last video.
On the last video, I just showed out on my booktube, so I was like, yeah, I have a booktube now.
We booktube.
You booktube. This is Edith Hamilton's Mythology. I had an edition of this that got swallowed up on my dad's library, so I said, let's get my own. I haven't said this yet, but this whole giant book haul series that I'm doing right now is the main forward push for me to build my forever library. The library that I hand on to my beautiful reading children someday. And this has got to be part of it because this is the retelling of all of the classic tales. This would be really fun to go through too, post-Metamorphoses.
Daddy, read us Post-Metamorphoses again.
You mean
please, Daddy Denson.
This book is going to be different from my other. This is not called Post-Metamorphoses.
I literally thought it was. I didn't see what the title was.
New energy on this book.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't apologize. This is what the people...
This is what they crave!
So this is going to be great, because this is like a bit of a... it's not dumbed down. It's just a little bit more accessible version of mythology. So that'll be great. I'm excited to read this. This is great plane material.
Yeah.
You open this on the plane and you're just in Greece. And you just open to a random page and there's Perseus holding Medusa's head. So... freaking cool. On to you.
This was not at the book sale. Denson's dad gave this to me because they already had, I think, 2 other sets, but Chronicles of Narnia. Denson and I started a book club of reading it, and I was really gung-ho. I got through the first 3 books, and I was like, Denson, how are you doing on these?
I said I did the first 2, and
I don't want to
keep going.
He's not very good book club friend.
So look, guys, I just reread Watership Down. And after I reread Watership Down, Adams texted me, so when the Dumb Rabbit book is finally over, we can finally read the Cool Lion book now. And I said, yeah, we can read the Cool Lion book now. And I read the first one, I was like, this is a Cool Lion book. And I read the second one, I was like, this is an alright line book. And I started Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and I just thought, it's not what I need right now in my life. I will read all of them, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted.
I think if you grow up reading Narnia, and you come back, I think you can enjoy it more. I never read Narnia when I was younger. I was a Harry Potter kid.
Me too.
But when I was reading it, I was like, okay, this could be like really enjoyable. But it gets a little repetitive. Narnia, inside the first three, gets a little heavy-handed allegory-wise, which I didn't enjoy.
Interesting. Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah. So it wasn't our gig, but you know what?
Our cup of tea, if you our cup
of coffee.
Yeah, it's coffee.
We'll get back to that at some point. That'll be a fun thing to do. Maybe when
scratch the cup.
Oh, no worries. Anyways, that's a great thing to get from my dad. Good gift. Thank you, Daddy-o.
Thank you, Daddy-o.
This will be familiar to everyone. It's Oscar Wilde. It's The Picture of Dorian Gray. And this also includes The Importance of Being Earnest, which I've read. I didn't read The Picture of Dorian Gray in my AP Lit class because another part of the class got assigned that, and I read Frankenstein, which I liked, but I need to read the 1818 text of Frankenstein. But I've heard Picture of Dorian Gray is amazing, and I went to the Art Institute of Chicago and saw the painting that, I don't even know who did it, the painting of Dorian Gray right after he slashes it and he becomes, all awful and gross and dying and full of blisters and pus, and just because he's been an ugly person on the inside, now it reflects on the outside or whatever. I think that's a spoiler, but oh well. Anyways, cannot wait to get to this because this could be the funniest person in the English language. So, there you go. Picture of Dorian Gray.
All right. Next one.
This guy.
Lolita.
This sick guy. This guy.
I don't stand for anything in this book. No, this is actually a Denson wreck. I really didn't know anything
this guy.
Yeah, but seems good. The opener. Denson was always like, "Oh, read the opener."
I think I've read this opener to you three.
Yeah,
three
times. And it's just like, yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I really don't want to read it.
Okay, don't read it. You can read the opening of Lily if you want.
Yeah, it's great. It's brilliant writing, and then it makes you feel like
it's delicious, alliterative, and it makes you feel bad. Yeah,
which is what great art does.
I have to give myself a haircut really soon. I mean, my eyebrows have just vanished underneath everything else. So, anyways, next up. How did this happen? I've got 3 Hamiltons. Well, I guess this is going to be a gift for someone.
That was the first haul.
Yeah, this must have been
You double mythology.
You know what? I'm such a genius because this looks like it got annotated a bit. No, it didn't. Well, I'm just going to have to read this book twice, I guess. So, that's that. All right, I'm going to do...
get double up.
Double up. All right, this next book is the biggest book I've ever held in my hands. It's not The Tale of Genji. It's the epistolary masterpiece, Clarissa. Tell us about it.
That's the epistolary masterpiece of Cablista. Now, Cablista, she goes on adventures.
Ooh. If you know anything about the book, you know that those adventures are not adventures. Anyways, this has been
Maybe if you're an optimist, it's an adventure.
Oh, gosh. You don't know what happens to her. Wait. Now he knows what happens to her. Yep. Steve recommended this, and a person in college took a class on this book, a whole class reading Clarissa, which is fair because look at it, it's insane. This is Edith Hamilton's mythology. These are these 2 books next to each other. That's not fair. Also, every paperback $2. This is $2.
That was 2.
And this is
$2.
Hilarious.
I'd like to amend my former statement.
You can't make an apology video in the same
Where's
video.
the ukulele?
Wait a minute.
So,
I swear I have a ukulele around here somewhere. Oh, no.
The Clarissa, they weren't adventures.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's over. The comedic timing's over.
Yeah, the comedic timing's over. All right, whatever.
Over.
Well, if we had a ukulele, we'd have a great apology.
It would have been a great apology.
Oh, whatever. Okay, this is going to be the most unhinged book.
Speaking of unhinged, Fight Club. Seen the movie? Yeah.
I did not know that was a book.
Yeah, Fight Club. It's the movie's based off the book.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I've tried to read this in the past and it loses me after the first chapter, and then I'm like, I just can't get into it, but I really want to get into it, so I bought it.
Cool.
Movie, really good. I fell for the twist. If you've seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it. I don't believe in spoiling things, even if it's been 100 years.
Yeah.
Because then people can still get enjoyment out of it.
I agree with that because isn't it cool that you're right there with the plot, like all of the people 100 years ago would have been? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it.
Yeah.
No big deal if you can't. Next, Persepolis, the graphic novel. Very famous, very acclaimed. I've never read a graphic novel in my entire life.
I read that.
Don't hit Persepolis. You read this?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
super
it's really
cool.
great. There's also an animated film that was really, really good. And I watched it before I read this. And you're going the right way. You should read it first and then appreciate the animation.
Awesome.
But it is really beautiful.
Beautiful.
And the person who wrote it, I can't remember her name right now.
Marjane?
Yeah, and I think she did all the animation too.
Wow.
So, and either outsourced a little bit for help, but all of it looks like this, except it's all animated.
Wow.
Which was just really brilliant. The
That's
story's really
cool.
touching. Yeah, it is like faithfully recreated from this.
Cool.
Which is
Well, I'm really excited then. That's great to hear from you. Yeah, especially post, like, I've done, like, a huge surge of kind of chunkers and mammoths of, like, Moby Dick, and Metamorphoses isn't a chunker, but Tale of Genji definitely is, so it'll be good to read stuff that I can get through quickly that's also really good. So, great.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, Life of Pi. I know nothing about this. I know there was a movie. I know it's like just a good book, and so I just bought it.
Real.
That's it.
Did it win awards? I don't know.
It doesn't have.
It may have won
cover.
awards. I think I've seen editions of it with
A selection of the book on Book of the Month Club. Huge Book of the Month Club.
I feel like there's lots of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Life of Pi. I think my sister read
Life of
that.
Pi.
Cool. I have a collection of the philosophies of David Hume. I took a philosophy class in my senior year of college, and he was referenced all the time, and we read a little bit of his, and I really enjoyed the things he wrote. I actually could feel like I understood them, as opposed to feeling like someone was trying to prove that they're smarter than me, which sometimes happens to me in philosophy. Or maybe I am just dumb. But this is a really, really cool author, so I'm excited to read that.
Nice. This next little series, I'm gonna do 3 of it at the same time. Just crazy
Very
guy here.
efficient.
Oh, fish.
Yeah, you're falling
Where's the
apart
third?
over here.
I'm falling apart.
It's a nightmare.
I'm sorry.
Our TA didn't show up for
didn't prep the books.
We screamed at him and didn't pay him for the last 3 months, so that must be right.
The presentation's gonna look crazy.
Nice.
Oh, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I read this last year, this whole series, and I knew nothing about it. Never saw the movie. I know Daniel Craig from James Bond. Also in a lot of other things, and Glass Onion, and
Rooney Mara.
And Rudy Mara.
She's great in that movie.
But really, really great series. It's not too complex. It's pretty straightforward plot wise. There's not any crazy in depth, but it's just a good read. Enjoyed it thoroughly. That's why I bought all 3.
Cool. Yep. That's awesome. I should read the first one for sure, at least, because I love that movie.
Well, what's funny is the first one's good, like it sets up everything. The second one just...
Oh, cool. Well, then there you go. Yeah. It's funny how that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You just gotta get
where the sequel was better than the first one.
That's probably my favorite David Fincher movie besides The Social Network. Which is
I should watch the movie. I still haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a great, dark comfort movie. For those of you who've seen it, you might know what I mean. Its subject matter is so bleak and dark, but, like I just said, for some reason it feels like... Sweden. Cold. I'm inside.
I love Sweden.
I love Sweden.
I love murderers.
Speaking of Sweden, Heart of Darkness.
Transition.
No, this is not Sweden. This is like in the middle of Africa. But it's
That's like the opposite of Sweden.
This is Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. So this also has selected short fiction, but I just know that I need to read this because it's a canon classic, and I'm somewhat excited. I know it's very short, so that excites me, but I'm not doing my tier ranking anymore because, let's be honest, guys, that was just a little bit silly. But I'm sort of excited to read this.
It was a lot of bit silly.
Yeah, it's a lot of it silly.
Hey, next one.
No, it's not a lot of it silly.
Doing 100 books at the same time. Yeah. This was also another David Camp, Papa Camp classic. He just...
a classic?
Look at this. He gave me The Hobbit, and then all 3... trilogy, Lord of the Rings, show that.
Look how beautiful that is.
And so...
I don't like those, but
he didn't like the mismatchedness, and the words are still the same, so I was like, absolutely. I actually really love this cover.
I love that cover, too.
That cover's great.
I wonder if Tolkien drew that, or drew parts of that.
Boo, movie cover.
So, you haven't seen...
I haven't seen any Lord of the Rings, or your book.
You haven't seen...
No, I haven't seen anything. I know nothing about Lord of the Rings, really.
That's crazy. I
don't even know any plot. I've never been spoiled Lord of the Rings. I know who Sauron is with his big old eye, but that's it.
I
know Frodo.
I'm hesitant to say you should watch the movies first because you should read the books first to get your visuals. But the movies are amazing too.
Movies are amazing. That's what I've heard. I have a friend who's really big into composing, and that's like his big inspiration is the soundtrack for Lord of the Rings
by Howard Shore, which is a great achievement of leitmotifs.
Yeah.
For those of you who know.
Wow.
One of the things that I was going to say, I got all Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit from these book hauls already. And I'm gonna tear off the covers of the live action one and make my own. If you want to do an arts and crafts,
that could be good.
That could be very fun. Okay, well, this is a volume.
Okay.
All those Phineas and Ferb fans out there are screaming. Robert Louis Stevenson. I got on an earlier book called Kidnapped and Treasure Island, which is contained within these. But this also contains Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And there's 2 editions that I got earlier of Kidnapped. And what is so funny?
I saw your book.
Inside the other, looking very solemn.
Yeah.
It's just the Holy Bible. It looks...
pretty good book.
Mid.
4 out of 5 stars.
Please don't kill me.
He's
so I'm glad that I have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And those other 2 editions look like they could fall apart. So this is going to be probably the thing I end up going back to more often. It's the same spongy thing as the Arthur Conan Doyle thing. And I was telling Adam that it could be a pillow. So if I go on hiking trips,
bring that.
No pillow required. Just take this.
Yeah. The book's going to be a real pain in the neck.
Alright, next book.
Hey, here's
guys.
The Sounds of Spain.
Alright.
Sheet music. They have sheet music at these types of things, and if you're into music, it's a good place to get really cool sheet music. This is a piano book. Look at this person. They butchered it with annotations.
I wonder if those are useful.
Nah.
No.
Anyways, cool. Excited about that.
This next book, the Holy Bible.
Never heard of it.
I never heard of it. I got this. This is the only King James version that I found in this section. There's just a whole section dedicated to Bibles. The text is very clear. It's very big. But I'm excited to have this as a reference work when I read Moby Dick. I'm going to go through and I'm going to read Jonah and the Whale, of course, and I'm going to read certain sections of it that I know are really referenced. And then whenever a Moby Dick reference sentence comes up that goes to this, I'm going to try to read it in the Bible. So yeah, read this next to Moby Dick. My 2 Bibles in one go.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sweet.
On to you.
Next book.
What? I didn't know you got that?
Yeah, I kind of snuck it in there.
Wow.
Silly Rabbit book. Yep, just fun times. If you ever read Peter Cottontail, the old British classic, I think that's what this is based off of.
Pastiche fiction based off of Watership Down or something.
I think so.
Don't check me on that.
Yeah, but should be good. Also know nothing about it. I know it was assigned in schools. I was in regular English, so I never got to have Watership Down as a delightful old treat.
That's great.
But
that's great.
Heard good things as well.
Yeah, I've it's one of my rare things that I've read 3 times. It's a 3 read. I read it first for school, then once when COVID started, and then right before we did our Chronicles of Narnia. And I love that book. I think it's just delightful, a great story, a good world to get lost in, very gentle. I mean, it's rabbits. It's gentle.
Who doesn't love rabbits?
The rabbit thief. Actually, he does love rabbits.
He loves
more
rabbits
than anyone.
He's a rabbit thief. You may be wondering.
Speaking of the rabbit thief, 1,001 Arabian Nights. I don't know what that is, why I'm doing it. This is volume 1. I don't know really anything about this, except I love the frame narrative of a person, in this case a woman, just telling stories to save her life. Because aren't we all telling stories to save our life in the end?
Mm-hmm. Boom.
Boom. Boom. Take that. Take that change. Anyways, this seems like a really long thing and more of the kind of thing that I would read selections from when they come up in life than I would read all in one go. I read all of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales all in one go, and it was not an enjoyable experience because they bleed together. And I worry something like this, which is even longer, would have the same problem. So I probably won't read this all in one go, but I'm so glad to have this, and it's in my library now, and it's beautiful. It's a Penguin classic. So, yeah. 1,001 Arabian Nights.
Classic. Ooh. Bad cover. Count de Monte Cristo. Also, never read it. I know it's like the Mammoth work where it's just long, but it's an amazing story. Goodreads highly recommends. It just says it's action packed all the way through. But I'm excited.
Cool.
Made sure not to get the unabridged copy. As one does.
Yeah, I think I said this before on this BookTube channel. I said it to you today, but I read an abridged version and then found the unabridged later, and I loved the abridged version, the first one I read, and then when I read the unabridged, I was like, this sucks. I did not like this at all. And then later I found like the Penguin Classic, super big one, and I realized the second one I read was also abridged, but just bigger.
But yeah, slightly bigger.
So maybe the first abridged person did a good job, and the second person kind of muddled things, or the translation was bad. So I need to give the whole thing a read.
Yeah, I don't know if this translation's any good.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but it is complete unabridged.
Cool.
Yeah, Wordsworth classics. We'll see.
Yeah, I want to read that and 3 Musketeers. That'll be fun. Cool. All right, keep on keeping on. All right,
It's like Christmas Day.
it is Christmas Day. I mean, this is, like I said, this is my first one, but this is Christmas Day. Lord of the Flies. I read this for school, but I lost my copy, and I want to reread it someday, so it's going to be in my library. Plus, a beautiful edition. The only problem is, this print is microscopic! And I just... It's an old book. It's okay.
Sucks to your asthma, Piggy.
Sucks to your ass. You had that lined up for that moment.
Yeah,
I just tore the spine. But you know what? I opened it as much as I would to read it, so whatever.
Yeah, it's
but yeah, very small print.
It's well loved.
I just tore it in front of the camera. I just love it so
This
much.
guy loves books.
Yeah, okay. Here you go for it.
The Stranger, Albert Camus. I read this a while ago. It went by really quickly, and I didn't absorb a lot of it. But I remember enjoying it a lot, and just the writing was very, very vivid, and it just takes you on this journey of, you know. Have you ever read it?
No.
Yeah, this... I don't even want to try to describe the plot, because I really can't remember a whole lot of it. But I remember feeling it was really good.
Did he write Waiting for Godot, or that's Samuel Beckett?
I don't know.
I think that Samuel Beckett did Waiting for Godot, but it's based on Camus or something like that, and then
your
Rosencrantz
wealth
and
of
Guildenstern
knowledge is
dead.
insane.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this, but
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
Really quite good. Quite
Cool.
good.
Very
That's it.
cool. Very cool. All right. This is the find of the hall today. The Canterbury Tales non-modernization version with lots of notes and a very licentious cover. Check this out, guys. Check this out. All in Middle English with a ton of notes and vocabulary on the sides. This is exactly what I want. I want to learn how to read Middle English so bad because I love Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, if you want to take a gander.
Wow.
And it's, I think, the complete version. And
Wow.
my dad got the Neville Coghill modernization, so I can kind of reference that while I'm still at home. I don't know. I mean, not like I can. I'm still reading The Tale of Genji, and that's going to take me a long time. But this is amazing. This makes me so, happy to just have in my arm. So, very, very fun. Very great.
Boo 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 boo. Random book that's brown. Just kidding, it's Moby Dick.
I'm evangelizing Moby Dick
Yeah,
for all my friends.
all I've heard about it from Denson. Denson really loves Moby Dick. If you don't know that now,
I was telling him about the contrast of Ahab's monomania and Ishmael's openness today at breakfast.
Yeah, over breakfast.
How
And I said,
fun
that's
is that?
nice. That was a nice little breakfast.
I'm sure you love that.
So no, I'm excited to get into
I have
it.
no other memories of that breakfast.
Yeah, just besides the Moby Dick.
Yep.
Yeah, no, really excited. Last book rec, Anna Karenina. That was the last one we really delved into, and it was fantastic.
Cool.
It was
I'm glad
a
you liked
great
it.
book rec.
That looking back on it, I got lucky that Adam is like a great enough reader to have really got something out of that.
Reading comprehension slightly higher than the average bear.
Much higher, and because recommending Anna Karenina is just not generally a good idea.
Bears can read park signs.
Okay, I don't know what this guy's going on about, but let's go. St. Augustine Confessions. I confess that I feel bad that I recommended Anna Karenina to a bear.
Roar.
Okay. Yeah, this is I haven't read City of God, but I think that the Confessions are the better place to start St. Augustine. I've read passages of this for a class I took in college called How to Really Read a Book, where I learned how to read a book. Nah, I didn't.
You start one word at a time.
Yeah.
Piece it together.
Yep.
What is how to read a book? What's like the table of contents of
that class?
Yeah.
I like that professor, but I don't know who the hell it was on about.
Dog, you just stitch those words together and call it a day.
He was one of those people who was so thoughtful and always on a different wavelength from you, which I love. I love people like that. That's one of the things I love about being on BookTube is that we're all sort of on different wavelengths. A lot of times our wavelengths dip and overact, and then we kind of vibrate together, and that's fun too. But sometimes you just enjoy being in the cosmos with all these waves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
A great man once said, "Waves don't die." What's the first verse?
Can't say that.
You get Can't say that.
Anyways, crime and
Wait a
punishment. He threw this into my bag because he was like, "You haven't heard of Crime and Punishment?" And
Is that now yours or is that mine?
I purchased this with my dollars.
Okay, I was
Do you
wondering,
want it?
I was wondering if you wanted it or if you were getting it from me now at Venmo. You can have it. It's constant.
You recommended it. I thought you already had a copy. This is
No,
drama.
you should have it then. It's the Constance Garnett translation, which is the OG like 1800s version, I think. So let me.
I mean,
does it say Constance Garnett at the very beginning?
Constance Garnett.
Yes, it is. It is Constance Garnett. So you should.
We've won.
We won.
Charlie, you've won.
My dad is Pavir and Volokhonsky translation, and so I don't know. I don't know if I have one on my own, but you should have it.
They did Anna Karenina, and you said to avoid that one when wait, which one was the Penguin Classic? That's a good one.
I like the Pavir and Volokhonsky ones. Personally, I know that they have detractors, but I like them, and I really am loving their Brothers Karamazov right now.
Who was the translator of the one I read, Anna Karenina?
That's
Pavir. Oh, never mind. Sorry,
they're great.
Amend my statement.
This is like for those of you who don't know about the history of Russian translators. I have a very limited knowledge on it, but my understanding is that Constance Garnett made some of the earliest translations in the late 1800s / early 1900s of these great Russian works that were read by a lot of contemporary 20th century American / English writers. So a lot of the great English writers know the Russian authors through her. Thank you for being the post-man. So anyways, I saw it and I was like, I'd already checked out. So I picked it up and I said, Adam, can you pay for this for me? And then you were like, wait, is it good? I was like, yeah, you can have it if you want. So now we're in limbo about who owns it.
I totally forgot. But because you were saying how good.
You should take it.
All right.
If you, no,
it probably means more.
If you don't think you're gonna read it, then I'll take it.
I'm gonna read it eventually.
You know what you do? I'll Venmo you $1 and then we'll tear every other page out and we'll each have every other page, or maybe every other. Or maybe we can cut out every other letter, or maybe piece together half letters.
Next book.
We got Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. I did my senior thesis. I was a German major on fairy tales. I didn't really do them on the Brothers Grimm. Like I said, I read all of them, but I made my own and I wrote some music to accompany it. And that was my thesis. It's like a creative thesis. But here's another half of that fairy tale world, Hans Christian Andersen. A lot of the ones that we know. I think he wrote Frozen, the Disney movie, so can't wait to get to that original story. Anyways, your turn.
Did they put Frozen 2 in that as well?
Yeah, all through Frozen 16.
All Frozen.
I know.
Frozen 14 is my favorite.
best Frozen.
Hey guys, speaking of favorites, check out this book by Mark Bittman. It's a cookbook.
No shot. His name is Bitman. If you ever wanted a good case of nominal determinism, look no further.
No shot. Yeah, guys, this exact edition stopped being published, and my dad really loves this book, and he has one that's like super worn out, ragged, because he used to use it a whole lot. So, got it. $4.
Let's wrap it up and then
have a little wrap. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So that's my last book. So you get to hear me yap less. Yap is one of those zeitgeist.
Yeah,
words
sorry for all of our viewers over 27.
27.
Yeah. We're just using awful slang.
Awful slang.
Okay, I only have a couple more though. All right, the first one that I got, and this is a purchase that I'm looking to the future when I can get the rest of them. It's The Mirror in the Light by Hilary Mantel, part of her famous series on Thomas Cromwell. Starting with Wolf Hall and ending with bringing up the bodies. Can't wait to read it. I know it's been really critically acclaimed. I'm super excited. This is one of the few books that I got that was not in the classic section. It was in contemporary fiction, of course. And it's one of the few books that's being written today that I'm excited to read. James by Percival Everett is another one, which is the retelling of Huck Finn from Jim's perspective. This is the only book that I got intentionally that I didn't know anything about, and it's The Ageless Chinese, a history by Dun J. Lee. And I read a little bit of it just to make sure I liked the style, and I said, yes, I want this. Because I know, I feel like, and I don't know why I feel this way, but the fact that I know nothing about the history of China or India feels like I have a huge gap in my knowledge of humanity and human history. Because it's such a pivotal, huge part of the world with so many human beings who have life and have lived, that for me to not know anything feels like a disservice to my one lifetime on this planet. So this excites me. I really want to fill in the map in that kind of way of my understanding of the world. So this will be great. This kind of takes you through everything, and it seems like it's written by a person who cares about your enjoyment. So very fun. That's that first bag. And then we have these last ones. This is Boswell's Life of Johnson, but it's the whole thing. So I got thank you. Yeah. I pulled out this. I said, Adam, look, I got Livy's The Early History of Rome. And Adam said,
I forgot what I said.
He said, "Oh yeah, great find."
Yeah, great find. Wow.
It was so detached, supportive of good job, sweetie. Nice rock. I'm glad you grabbed this rock. But this does excite me. But anyways, Boswell's Life of Johnson is sort of similar. So I have that first volume, the first half of the other one, and it's in bigger print. So I'll probably read that before I switch to the double column microscopic print version. because I want to have some eyeballs for a little bit of a longer time, but that would be really great to read. We're about to hit 30 minutes. This is so exciting. Livy, The Early Histories of Rome. I didn't get the war with Hannibal, unfortunately, but this is going to be great to read some Livy. Very excited. I'm zooming.
He's zooming through.
I ideologically do not agree with the symbol on this cover, but this is gonna be a great read. I'm really excited about this. I know Joshua Greba, you're reading this right now. I don't know if you're watching because I'm making a ton of these videos and they're really long. But
this is the one to watch.
This is the one. But yeah, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich by William L. Shire. This is like a book of history that I feel like is valuable to be reading today. I don't want to reduce like reading books to like their value in understanding your own life and modernity, but I feel like this in and of itself will be a great work, but also for that reason makes me really want to read it. So very excited for this. And then these last two is this book about a whale or something, I don't even know. Ash Moby Dick. And then the very last one, this excites me so much, is it's Montaigne's essays. It can't be all of them. There's no shot it's all of them, but it's probably a lot of them.
But it's double columned again? Yeah.
It's double columned.
You're double.
It might be. Of course, it's translated into English, but I don't know what the who the translator is. But this is by Great Books of the Western World. Who's the publisher? Britannica, right? Yeah, Britannica, Great Books. So this would be really exciting because I looked up online just certain of his subject matters of the essays and was like, man, I want to read that essay, or I want to read that essay. Let's see, if I just go to a random page and try to find a heading that I can actually see, of fear. Just his thoughts on what is fear is. A proceeding of some ambassadors. Let's go on. Just the subject matter. It's sort of like Plutarch's essays on like just random things that you wouldn't really think to write an essay on, but are actually really insightful. I can't really find any headings, so maybe I'm just going to give up on this. But yeah, I'm really excited because this guy just seems like he's one of the most observant people. You know, people who just look at the world and actually see it instead of just kind of float through it. Alright, well, I can't find this, but whatever. Montaigne, French guy, super cool, essays, bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom. That's book talk.
You messed it up at the very end! I was like, Adam,
do not say book talk.
We do not like book talk. We are tribal to the, yeah, we are booked now, but who cares?
Yeah. I think it's like the book talk, yeah, the K's at the end.
It rolls off the tongue
but
maybe a little bit more.
Booktube.
We're booktubers
such elegance.
Yeah, we're just our little corner of booktube. We're not trying to reach 6 million impressions of people who watch 10 seconds of our video.
No. You gotta watch all 32 minutes.
All 32 minutes
that guy who knows about all the books, and then me, who goes and says, I saw this on a TV show.
Yeah. We're learning. We're all learning. And you know what? Once we've read all of these books, we're gonna know everything, baby.
We're gonna know everything.
And that's what it's all about, is
and
knowing
then
everything.
We'll dominate the world.
Power.
And the friends we made along the way.
Which is you.
Which is you.
For your time.
Thanks, BookTube.
Dude, great save. We can land the plane now. Thank y'all for watching.
Maybe we can't nowadays.
I think this is the big grand finale of the big book hauls. I think I'm done. Yeah. I might go back tomorrow, but I don't think I will.
Shouldn't. There's nothing left.
Nothing left that I want.
We just showed them all the books that were
this is all the books that were at the library sale. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank y'all very much.
Bye. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.